In my role now as Executive Director of Child Wellbeing Movement, part of this is me to reinforce the fact that you can't do this work by yourself. And so for me, it's been about finding those likely suspects, those folks who believe in the kind of work I believe in, and then getting us to talk about how we could actually solve and collectively problem solve the challenges.
We know that we can do this because Atlanta has a long history of collaboration. The Child Wellbeing Index in particular marks an important moment in Atlanta's history because we have for the first time a real line in the sand of where we are with an aspiration of where we can be.
I love the fact that United Way of Greater Atlanta is framing this work as a child well-being movement. There is no single program, no single grant, no single partnership that's going to address child well-being in Metro Atlanta. We've got to do it together. And our children need us to get this together and operate in a way that's most effective in their interests. It really is important that we elevate this work.
I think United Way has taught me a lot about collaborations and partnerships. If we're not working collaboratively in partnerships that are creating a holistic approach to problem solving, we're a little short-sighted and we've only put a Band-Aid on an issue.
Transformation Alliance is excited to have members like Soccer in the Streets, and we've just done the groundbreaking on our second partnership with them for a station soccer location at East Point MARTA. That's an incredible multi-solve partnership approach that's using the public infrastructure of the transit station to not only provide exercise through soccer, but there's social cohesion work going on. The moms get together and talk during practices. The dads get together and talk during games. We're bringing classroom space to those locations, community gardens to those locations, corporate partnership for financial literacy training.
And here in Clayton County Public Schools, we believe that leadership is very important. Leadership requires one to collaborate. In light of the work that we have to do to lift all children, it requires more than one person. It requires more than one organization. It requires more than one part of the community. It requires more than one county. It requires many of us to work together in order to produce outcomes that are sustainable.
We recognize as a state agency that no one entity can do it all, and truly the solutions lie in the community, and so what better partner than the community to help to develop those solutions.
I've been really encouraged at our time at Learn for Life by the outpouring of support for working together. If we can all come together and focus our energy and time and resources on these key challenges, we can do great things for the children of Atlanta.
We began our partnership with the community itself, the residents who currently live in the neighborhood. We recognize as an organization that beginning with those residents, assessing their needs and desires for their neighborhood was the best place for us to start.
We created, as a partnership, Neighborhood Nexus, which is the data below all of this work, whether it's Gears, whether it's Learn for Life, whether it's child well-being, no matter what it is. Neighborhood Nexus is that community information system, which is itself a partnership.
We are engaged in the incredibly heavy and complicated work of school transformation, and the Safe Center really is an extension of that work. You cannot engage in school turnaround unless you are partnering thoughtfully with organizations who have demonstrated some measured interest to do this work alongside of you.
We understood that we could not do this by ourselves, that it was going to take everybody to help with the lift in order to remove those barriers.
Lean into our communities, work with folks like Igola Richardson, who leads our Safe Center, follow the blueprint that has been established by the United Way and so many other folks that do great work with young people.
When you look at the grand scheme of things and the challenges that we face, that our children are facing, that our city is facing and beyond, it can be overwhelming. But as we look around and you see them working just as hard and being as passionate as you are, it just gives us the best opportunity for impact.
Atlanta is a very unique situation, right? Because not only is it a city of great opportunity, but there's also a lot of need. It's a city that's blessed to have a lot of large organizations like United Way doing a lot of great work. Kind of my vision and how McKinsey can be a part of that work and in the overall community is just providing the skill set to quantify and use data in a way that, one, make sure that we're being as most effective as possible.
Collaboration and partnership is more reflective of how we actually live our lives. We tend to silo out into subject matter experts on a daily basis at work. But when you think about it, people get up and they address their lives as pulling all the pieces together. And so working in partnership and collaboration is just a way to work the same way that we live our lives.
And while it sounds a bit easier than it is to do, collaboration does make it a lot more doable, if you will. So it's a very complex process, but collaboration is one of those skill sets and those tools that allows us to do the work